Hi beautiful people, crafty friends, it's Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on YouTube and Etsy and One Way Journals on Facebook. Very warm welcome if you're a returning subscriber or if you've just popped by the channel, stumbled across us. We would so appreciate a like, share, comment, all that great stuff as it helps the channel grow. So what I have for you today is the Bountiful Harvest journal that I've made. It's a slimline journal because I wanted to get it to fit into one of the little bags that I've just made in the previous video. So this is one of the bags that I made to store it in. You can tell it's already pushing to the sides, but let me pull it out for you. Here we go. Right, so this is my gorgeous journal. I'm really happy with it. And it's got a really big bow on the side with lots of embellishment on the front. And then open up, we've got a lot of great stuff in here. Okay, so let me just show you what's in the kit. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to mention something. So most of Carolyn's viewership is in the US, but if you're in another part of the world, like I'm in Australia, or if you're in the UK, South Africa, any of the other countries, we don't really celebrate autumn the same way that they do in the US, which is so much fun and fabulous, the way you decorate your homes and all that good stuff. So when I was looking at all the images, I was trying to relate to it because we don't really have that sort of festivities or that sort of culture here in Australia. So I wanted to look up some of the images because, of course, when I think of autumn, I just think of leaves. That's where my brain goes to. But I wanted to look up a few little things. So I wanted to look up, well, because there's corn mazes, etc. Like you'll see some of that in some of the digitals. So I looked up where is corn grown in Australia. It's actually grown in New South Wales and Queensland, but it's also in Broome and Gingin in WA. I'm in Western Australia, so Gingin is where my grandfather grew up as a young farm boy. He's actually his family was from Scotland, so he was a farm boy. So that was interesting to me. And then I was also wanted to look at, did we have like the red mushrooms that you see in a lot of the autumn kits? And we do. We actually have them. They're in Tasmania. There's the red wax cap in Queensland and New South Wales, but there's also one that's called, I think it's called a padfly agaric mushrooms. They're sort of like the psychedelic ones with the red caps, etc. And then I looked at the red fox, so we do have that. The European red fox was introduced into the 1800s into Australia for hunting, and they're in all the states of Australia except for Tasmania. And then I looked at where is pumpkin mostly grown within Australia, and it's pretty much in all of the states, and it is, you know, I can't remember when it's planted, but it does. They do ripen in the autumn months in Australia here. So anyway, I just wanted to put a bit of context there for some of the images and how they're found in my home country of Australia, but also towards the end of the video, I'll be showing you some alternative papers that you might want to fill into the journal if there's some things that you know, that you think that you might prefer. So let's take a look at what's in the Bountiful Harvest kit. So I printed on 120 GSM, which is thicker than your normal photocopier paper, which is normally 80 GSM in Australia. That one you'll find if you print on both sides, it'll just weaken the paper, and you know, you can see the design on each side. So anyway, print with what your choice is for printing on, and let's have a quick look. So here we go, fall breeze and autumn leaves. I love all the richness in those colors, and then definitely that shabby vibe around the outside. And then I've printed that one on the back. Here we go, plant smiles, grow laughter, harvest love. You will always harvest what you plant. There you go, and I printed that one on the back. Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. That's 2 Corinthians 9:6. So it's a very light print of that scripture that is there. And then we've got, you know, this beautiful image here over here. It's very shabby, sort of vintagey vibe. And then we've got beautiful pumpkins here with the word autumn on this one. And that's gorgeous there. And then this one on the back. here we go. It says live in Thanksgiving daily. And this one on the back, let our lives be full of both thanks and giving. Oh, I haven't printed on the back of that one. No problem, I can do something with that. And then, he who gathers in summer is a son who acts wisely, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who acts shamefully. So that's from Proverbs 10:5. There we go. And then I love this backing paper. So you would have seen this featured in the past 2 videos with the folios and then some of the ephemera kits. I've grabbed this backing paper from this kit, Bountiful Harvest, because it's just a great backing sheet. And this one says live in Thanksgiving daily. So there we go. And then that on the back. And then this one. There we go, and that one, this one also featured in one of the folios. I've printed that on the back of it. So yeah, there's some just really great papers in this. And then this one with that on the back. Actually, that's great. I've just noticed that you'll see this bit here featured on another page in a minute. And then we have the park bench with the birds, and then this is great on that side, and then we have that, and then we have this one, which is more of a fun one, which is the pumpkins and the sunflowers, and that one on the back. And then here we go. So this one, this is beautiful, and on the back is that. So that's that little strip reminded me of this one here that I've printed on the back. And then what Carolyn has given us is this one, which is a mirrored image. So I've printed out, this is the neutral that comes with the kit. So I've used that on the back of lots of the ephemera, and this one we can cut it out and we can glue it to this one because it's mirrored. We can glue it to the back of this if we cut it out. However, if this is our page, it can be our center spread, but we can also cut this out and then have it here, and so you'll be able to see this twice in the journal, because this will be on the page, and this one we can have it as a 3D, so it will sort of be movable, and then when you come to this side we can do the same thing again. Anyway, you will see when I go to put it together. So there we go. I'll just go get the ephemera and show you that next. When I went back to my computer to go and print a reverse print on that one, I then realized I forgot to print this one as well. So I needed to quickly duck in here to show you how gorgeous this print is. So that pop of that purple there, and then there's that beautiful sort of, it's a dusky dark blue in there as well, just brings that all to light. So not sure how I'm going to use this one yet, but it definitely will feature beautifully in this journal when I figure out an idea. Here is the ephemera for this kit. So we've got a beautiful range of pockets. So I haven't printed on the back. All of this is printed on 160 GSM, so very lightweight cardstock. And then we have some more pockets here. Okay, and then, oops. And then this page, we've got lots of little bits and pieces and some fabulous belly bands there. So I haven't backed these either because they'll be stuck down. And then here, another fabulous belly band, and this one we can fold over to create a pocket. And then here we have a couple of fabulous tags. Now these are printed on 160 GSM, so lightweight cardstock, but I am going to back each one with some of my scraps. So whatever card scraps that you've got that's in a neutral color on the back, that's what I'm going to do to make them a thicker tag thickness to make them. And so that's what I've done with these as well. So that's why they're not printed on the back. Alternatively, you could print on a thicker cardstock and just print a neutral on the back if you wanted writing space, or some of these could be used to build up tags. So this one I did print on the back because this one's going to fold over. So there's the neutral that's on the back of that one. And then here, these look great that could sit on the top of these as dangles, like swing little tags and things. So I did print a neutral on the back of that one. I did print the neutral on this one as well, because this one I'm going to fold in half. And so I wanted a thinner cardstock to be able to do that. And then we have this envelope, and so I printed the neutral on the back, And then we've got this gorgeous design, which is in one of the papers. So you can choose whatever you want on the back. You might want to choose one of the pattern papers or a neutral. You decide what you want to do with that one. And I just wanted to show you some fussy cuts. And I've just, as I'm filming, I noticed my ink is playing funny people, and so it's just put lines through it. I'm so sorry, but I'm in a rush before we go off to church, but it's beautiful. So there's 3 pages of fussy cut, so I'll just have to reprint this, and then this one, and then also this one as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Now there are another 2 pages, and it's with the images reduced, and so they're smaller, so all the same images but on 2 pages of smaller ones. Okay, there you go. Let's look at putting the cover together. So what I've done is I've got some chipboard, and I've cut it down to 9 by 6 inches. Okay, so 2 of those pieces, and then this piece is 9 inches, and it's 1 3/8 of an inch. That's my spine. And then I was looking at what fabric do I have. I know what I'm going to put on the cover, but I didn't have any fabric that I thought matched well. So I was like looking through all my supplies going, let's use what we've already got. So I had a big roll of craft paper, but as you can see, this is quite thin and flimsy, and I thought, oh, it's not really going to be it's not thick enough. So then I remembered I had a big roll of wrapping paper, which is craft on that side, and then it's got these very bright feathers on this side. So what I've done is I've glued the 2 pieces together. So just use my glue stick, and this one you can tell, I think you can tell, you can still see this is a little bit thicker, but you can still see the pattern that's coming through. So what I've done is glued that, and now you can't see it on this side. You can't see that feather design, so that's good. And so what I've done is I've put on my pieces like this, okay, and put in where I wanted my spine to go, and then I've folded it like this and then creased it so I knew where it would go, and etc., if you know what I mean. So I haven't stuck it down yet because I wanted to sew the cover. Obviously can't sew it onto the chipboard. So after I'd glued it together, I've done this, put the fold in, gone to my sewing machine, and then I really like this effect of sewing around it twice with a messy stitch, so a sort of ziggy, not zigzag, but you know what I mean. And so I've gone around twice, but then I ran out of and I need to rethread my machine, so it sort of stopped halfway. So I've still got to finish this bit, but I thought I'd quickly show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to go back, finish the stitching around here, and then it will be ready for me to assemble and put these in. So I'll come back to you with when I'm ready to do that. I finished stitching around the edge, so now I'm going to glue down my pieces with the paper, and then I'll just speed through this process. And now, so you could use double-sided tape or you could use glue. What should I do? I think I'll just use glue, and yeah, I'll speed through this bit. Okay, so I was just butting up those edges to the creases that I had previously created, just to glue those down. So here you can see the double stitching around here. So now what I'm going to do is obviously just push these corners in. So if you see here, I've mitered the corners, but if you just push them in to try and get the neatest corner you can. So I'll just speed through that while I stick these down. Okay, so that's been glued down, and now I just need to bend these a little bit. Whoops. So So I am going to have ribbon that's going to cover that, but this has buckled a little bit. You can cut a strip here, which I might do that just to stop it from buckling. So there we go. That's what I wanted to do, to keep this in the video, just to show you, because even as long as we've been making journals, sometimes we come across new things, or we forget things, or we just sort of get into a bit of a pickle and then figure out how we can fix them. And I completely forgot I needed to do that so they wouldn't buckle. But that's all sorted now. So now I'm going to show you what I actually had planned for this. So I have this digital paper that I wanted on the front, and then the same on the back here. And I found this. So this was just like at one of our dollar store. We don't actually have dollar stores in Australia, but it's like one of those discount stores. So this was a piece that was in a wooden frame. So I dismantled the wooden frame, and then this is the piece. So I'm just going to hot glue gun this onto here, and I thought that would look great as just a 3D set feature on the top of this journal. And then this gorgeous ribbon. Now I bought this at Costco when Costco came to Australia maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was the first year that I bought it. So it is the Kirkland brand that you get from Costco. I did buy it 4 or 5 years ago, so look, I don't even know if they still have it, but how gorgeous is this ribbon? So that's what I'm going to put on the spine. And as you would have seen at the beginning of the journal, there we go, that's going to go there. And then I'm going to wrap it around and glue it, cut a piece and glue it down here so that it meets in the middle, because as you would have seen at the beginning of the video, I'm putting eyelets in the top here and 2 down the bottom, and putting elastic or ribbon through it so that the pages can be removable in this journal. So I'm just going to, before I put the ribbon down, I do need to decide what digital I'm going to put on the inside. So let me go do that, and then I'll come back to you with the rest of this. Okie dokes, I did do something off camera just because I don't want the whole video to be all about just making a cover. I wanted to get into other things for you. So I didn't want to take too much time. But what I've done, and I haven't done a ribbon closure like this for ages, where you thread the ribbon in underneath. So I used my glue gun to thread the ribbon through there and then glued on that, and then put the digital over the top. And I just decided I was going to use the same digital on the front as I was going to use on the inside. Now it is stuck down with the glue gun, but for decorative purposes as well as just to secure it from pulling, I've just put 2 eyelets there, front and back. So you just see they've sort of been clamped there. Hopefully that will be okay. Now I was thinking of, I love using those antique bronze type of corners and eyelets and things, but because there was the gold sort of glitter in this ribbon, I decided to go with the yellow gold, so that's why they're there. And then I just have 4 of these that have been sitting in my drawer for ages, and I don't know if this is going to be too much, but we're going to glue gun those on there. I don't know if the ribbon's too big and wide, but let's go with it. And then I'm going to glue this down on, because then I need to set my eyelets. So I'm going to do that, and then the topper I'm going to leave until last, because there might be things I might want to put in underneath. We'll just see how we're going. So yes, if my glue gun's ready, I'll just speed through as I stick these on. Okay, so now I'm going to put my ribbon on. Okay, so that's all stuck down, and so now I am going to put in my 2 eyelets on the top and the bottom. You just have to make sure you know where your fold is, and then try and get your 2 eyelets as close as you can up to the top to allow enough room for the pages. So I'll go do that. In my stash, I found some of this gold cord. I don't even know where it came from. It's not elastic, but I'm going to give it a go. So what you do is and I punch my holes, and I put a little marker there, and I don't know how these ones are closer together than up there, but anyway, it's life, it's what happens. So what we do is we go in that one, then up through there like that, and then up through there, in through here, and then just tie that together in the center. Now I'm going to do it very loosely because I want to put all the signatures, the two signatures in first, and just see, you know, how tight I need it to be for it to fit in there. So I'll just do a little bow at the moment, and then I'll come back and tie it off properly when I'm ready. Whilst I had the glue gun out, I finished the cover. I wasn't going to, and then I couldn't help myself. Sorry that I didn't do it. I didn't film it. I was playing. So I did glue gun this piece on the top, and then I thought, oh, it could be really fun if I cut out the autumn leaves that are on the ribbon. So I went around, cut around them, and then stuck them around the front. And then because some of the edging had the gold glitter, then I did go around with gold glitter around the edges as well. So I don't know if it's too much. Is it too glittery? It's very glittery for autumn. Sort of feels Christmassy. I don't know. Tell me what you think. But I'm actually really, it's very glitzy, but I'm loving it. Okay, there we go. I'm looking through all the printed papers, and I just wanted to show you a few things. So this is what I was referring to before about these beautiful butterfly wings. So what you can do is, I have printed this with the mirror image, glued them together, and then cut them out. So it is on the back as well. And then you could use this as a center spread and have it like that in the center. Or like what I was mentioning was, you could put it like that, and then when you get to this page, this, I just want to show you a couple of options of what it would look like. I actually really like this with the wings sitting on this page. There we go. And then, you know, you could have that in whatever you print on the other side, and then you get to this one, and then you've got the wings again that feature. Okay, wanted to put this one in to show you what it looked like. Just give you a few little ideas. Like that looks actually pretty good as well. Or this paper here. I just chose a couple that I thought might look nice underneath the butterfly wings. So that one looks pretty good as well, like a little bit of a contrast on the other side, and then when you flip that one over, it's got that one on the other side. So yeah, a couple of little quick ideas. I just wanted to show you that for that element. And then I've just put a bunch of papers together. Now, you don't have to pull anything in from any other kits, but one of the previous videos, which we will link in the description box, there is some beautiful autumn doilies. And if you know me, you know I love doilies. So this page here, I printed on the back of one of these doilies. Now, there's a whole range of them. If you click into that video, there's, you know, owls, birds, fox, mushrooms, etc. So I just wanted to show you what that would look like if you wanted to grab something from another kit, and that could be the center of your signature like that. And then I just pulled this paper so you could see something, what it would look like if you use that as the center, or on that side, that's what it would look like, just to give you a couple of options of what it could look like. And then if you don't choose the owl but something like a fox, that's what that could look like. You could put two of them on the center of two different signatures if you wanted to. There we go. That's just to give you a bit of an idea on those. And then this one here, this page. Now I went to go print on the reverse, and I actually grabbed this one from Fruit of the Spirit. So I'm just sort of encouraging you to use, you might have other kits that you forget about and you think, oh, I can actually, that would coordinate well with this one and I can pull it in. So I printed this, went to print it on the back. I don't know why it did that, but it got stuck. So what a waste of ink. So I actually did this on the last journal that I made. It's like the Sweet Autumn journal. So it's in lots of soft pinks and greens. And I did this idea with a page. So you could glue this down 3 sides onto your page and then create a tuck, and then if you glue this down and do a notch up here, you can put a bookmark in there, and then this can be flipped open and you can put pockets and whatever to make it interesting. So I'll link that last video up in the description as well, so you can go take a look. But that's a way that you can still use the page. Even though it seems like all is lost, it's not. You can adjust things to make it interesting and hide the mistakes that you make. Please excuse my nails. They're chipped, they've got gold flecks. I've been crafting a bit of light gardening as well, so I've got cracks and splits and everywhere, but wanted to show you what I was up to. Okay, so I have decorated the inside cover, and this is the Thanksgiving, a Prayer of Thanksgiving folio, which is in a previous video, so I'll link that in the description so you can see how that's put together. I did have this on the back, but I want to glue it down here, so I've reprinted this to put it down here, and with a bit of lace on the bottom, just put that there. And then this beautiful image of this girl here, I thought that would be beautiful in this space here, and this is for the Whimsical Girls, which is hidden under his wings, but I can link that in the description box. So I've cut out that image from this card topper or journal topper, and that one would be beautiful as well in this journal. And then there's this one, and these, and so I've used some of them in the summer, not the summer, in the Sweet Autumn journal that I did 2 videos ago. So that's just where that has come from. So let's, what I've done is I've just glued down a couple of those cutouts from the ribbon that's on the spine and the front cover. I've just popped a few of them there. And so I'm just going to glue this down. So I'll just quickly do that. Okay, so that is now sitting there on the front. Beautiful. So it's got all its pockets and pull out bits. I just love this. Okay, and now I'm going to flip to the back, and here we go. Oh, I forgot to mention, so the journal pages, they're all a bit floppy at the moment because I haven't tied them tight, but in the past, you can, I've done straight edges, then I've used a decal ruler, I've used decal scissors to tear up the pages. But this one, the whole shape of the leaves and everything, I thought this would look great if I just hand ripped it. So everything is different. All the pages look differently. They don't sort of have the same uniform deckled edge on them. So that's what I've done with these. And then here on the back, this was the piece of paper that I printed incorrectly on the reverse, so I folded that over, and then I've created so instead of just a normal bookmark, what I've done is I've created that space and I've sprayed over the whole thing with the decal no, not the decal, the mica spray. And so this one is tarnished, no, I didn't use the tarnished brass, I used the antique bronze. So that's what I've done that, and then I've just backed that onto an A4 piece of card stock, or it's thicker paper, and just made that so it's extra writing, and so that's going to go back in here. And so now what I want to do is glue down 3 sides so that this will go on the back, so I'll just do that now. The bits of ephemera in here, I've just torn a piece of that paper that I've reprinted, so that's just gone there and torn the edge again to create a pocket, and so some of that paper there I've just put on front of a card and backed it, that goes in there, and then flip it here, that's just one of the pockets with the kit. And then I've used some paint swatches, so this is the bit that I'm going to show you on different ways to use paint swatches in your journal. So this one here, I love seeing the colors that they are with the labels on them, and so I've just done some doilies and one of the green leaves there. and added the doilies over onto the back. So that one goes back in there. And then this one here is another paint swash, and I thought, oh, I'll bring in the purple that's in here. So it's just a pop of purple that goes underneath, another doily, and then I used, I tried gesso on it, but you'll see in a minute, it actually, I think there's a bit of a coating on it, so it slipped a little bit. So I just used a stencil and used a gold pen to create that on the front with a little bit of glitter glue dots on it. And then so die cuts, so I've got a whole bunch of die cuts that I keep forgetting to use, and so there was a variety of different leaves and things, so I've just sort of yeah, cut those out in different colors to stick on the back of that one. So that one will go in there as a little pocket. Okay, now, so I'm just going to pull this, move this aside so I can show you some other ways of what you can do with paint swatches. They're such a great resource to put into our journals. So let's have a look at what I've got here. So this one here, it says pumpkin pleasure. So of course I had to do a pumpkin fussy cut on the front. So that's just got some lace behind with a fussy cut. And I've just backed it with that sort of paper. There's a range that I've got in this sort of mustard yellow, the green, that sagey green, the reddish colour, and a blue, etc. And it's like, I think it was an Australian range of colours. It's sort of Australian desert colours. Anyway, so that's what I used on that. This one is where I used the gesso, so like texture paste, and I popped that on here, and if you can see, it's actually slipped a little bit underneath. So that's why I didn't do any more on any of the other cards, but we're going to show you some gesso on something else a bit later. So that's one backed. Here is another paint card where I've just done some torn paper, some of my scraps that are here, and then just some of the leaves on there. And then just used a stencil, this one here that I had, and just used my ink pad just to ink it on the back. So there we go. This one here is a yellow one. So I've got a whole bunch of leaf stickers like this in white. So like that. And so I've just stuck a sticker on the top, and then that's an acetate but printed butterfly. So that's on that one, and that's backed. And then what you can do is, if you've got like fabric, flowers, leaves, anything like that, you can cut out your fabric or ribbon and then pop something like that onto one of these. If you don't have that, but you have the backing paper, you could cut out some leaves from one of your digitals. So that's another idea. So there we go. Or if you've got these leaves as well, I've got a variety of these leaves. They could be great to decorate onto your paint swatches as well. So there we go, that's an idea for that. Now let's go back to the journal, and I'll just show you a few other things. Let's have a look. Okay, so this page, this is the best way to get the most out of one digital sheet. So this one here, what I've done is I printed one sheet and I've torn off a section here, ripped it, so that creates a pocket. And then when we flip over to the other side, I've done exactly the same thing on that side. This one, what I've done is I put the gesso onto this digital here, and then with a piece of paper you divide it into three. Just make this little section a little bit shorter so it folds in and comes in before that fold line there. So divide that into three, and then the top section I just ripped it, added the digital with the gesso and a few little dots of glitter glue, and then I've cut out paper, and this one's got ribbon on this side, and then I've just cut out paper that's a little bit shorter just to create writing space. So that's a little journal spot there. And then I've decorated with one of these leaves. So with the leaves, I have sprayed mica spray onto, sorry, I had a bit of a cough. Mica spray, and you might not be able to see the glittering sheen that it created and underneath. I didn't think it did enough. So then I've just used my art glitter glue to run down the veins, and then grabbed gold flakes and then just stuck it on the glue spots, and that's decorated the top there. Okay, so when we flip over to this side, what I've done is instead of the ribbon on the journal card, I've put the ribbon on the pocket that's here, and then the other pit strip here is the one that's here. So those two pockets has created, that one sheet has created two pockets and then two strips to go onto a journaling card. So I need to glue this one down here. The reason I haven't glued it yet was I wanted to show you when you add gesso or texture paste to your digital, just be aware that that's what it will do. Isn't it actually a very cool effect? It was white on the back, but it's actually pushed the color where the gesso is, and it's created that design. So I'm just letting you know this is going to be stuck down. If you love this effect, fantastic, but if you put gesso on one of your journal pages, that's what it might do on the reverse of your page. So I just wanted to show you that. So I need to glue that down there, and then I've done the same thing. So I've created journaling space within that, and this time instead of the leaf on the pocket, I've done the leaves that have gone up that way. Okay, so I just need to glue that one down. So let me just do that. Sorry, I had to stop the video because this little one, this is our little Chibi-chan. It means little one in Japanese. She's nearly 14, and this is our little princess. She was crying for me. Sorry, that's why I had to stop the video. So it's a bit of a cuddle time, and I'll get back to you. Okay, where were we? Let's get back to it. So this is the butterfly page sitting within the journal. So I've just glued a little bit so it won't keep sliding. So that's it. I've chosen on that page to sit on the back of. Okay, just put a little bit of glitter glue, which I need to daub throughout the journal. I haven't done that yet. There's still quite a lot I still need to do. So I've popped that little pumpkin one in there. This pocket, whoops, I've just made that into a little floating pocket, and I've just stuck one of the autumn doilies in there. So there's an autumn doilies kit. Now I have them all. This is a bunch of my pouches that I've made in a previous video for autumn, and these are a whole bunch of gorgeous autumn doily kits and things. So they're all cut out and they're put in that. And then the other autumn clutch has, look how many fussy cuts I've got. So I've still got to go through the journal and add these to things. Right. And then there was one more pouch, this one, and this has got the things like the tags and words. I've used some of those already, but yeah, there's a couple of those that I need to look at putting in the journal as well. So this one is part of the tags and words, and I showed it in a previous video, and that's just been put together with a ribbon and an eyelet that can be pulled out, and then the tags are backed onto each other, and then how to create a flap. So of course we'll include that in the description box. It is in one of the latest videos on how to make this little insert, and this one I've put a whole bunch of the hymns from the Tattered Hymns kit in it, so that's just really beautiful as well. I'll put the ribbon in later, and that one just goes in that pocket that's in the kit. I haven't tied this off or straightened it yet, so that one goes in there. This is from the kit, and I've just put the fussy cut here on the front and on the back, so extra writing space again. Sorry, there's a, oh, and these are leaves that I have sprayed. Now if I put it up, it's only got a very slight sheen on them. This time I did use the mica spray, the tarnish brass on that one. So just a couple of leaves on there. definitely not finished. So these are some extra tags that I'll show you in a minute with some papers that I've just put there, and put some bits of lace, and I've sprayed that with the mica spray to give it a bit of a sheen. That's a pocket. Here, this is just a pocket with a fussy cut, and then on here I've just put 3 of those tags on that I showed you before. That was on the Ko-fi page, the sunflower one, and then this gorgeous brad which makes it swing. That is from the beautiful Carolyn, who sent me a surprise package with a whole bunch of different types of brads and things. That's exciting. The other side of the butterfly, sorry, I haven't tightened this up, so that's why it's moving it around. And then there we go, that's that one finished. And then here I've just got an eyelet punched into the page with 2 of the tags to swing, and then they can be written on the back. And then just put a flower here with some glue and some of that gold flakes that go on there. These are the more tags that I'll show you in a minute, with the pockets going that way. This was an envelope that I have just put some chain and an owl as a little dangle. And then this was a craft envelope, so I just used the backing paper on here. Then I looked in my stash and I had, oh, you'll be able to see it on here maybe, it's got an embossed leaf pattern on it. So I put that on the back of here, and then the backing paper here, and then using a stencil I cut out that shape of the embossed leaves just to do a pop of brightness on the front. Put some backing on there, and then I put that paint swatch in here. So that will go back there. That dangle. Here we go. And then I've put that paint swatch there with just an envelope. And then I looked through all my stationery papers, and I had, I just cut this up. This was just stuff that's in your own stash. This was from stationery paper I had from years ago. I just cut that down because of the autumn leaf vibe to that. And I can fussy cut or put something on the front there later. This is the center of that with the owl there. This is fussy cut on the front, and then I put 2 paint swatches. These 2 I haven't shown you. So on the back of this paint swatch, I added some hymn music, and then one of the leaves on the front, that's just got a bit of mica spray on it, a butterfly. And this was another paint swatch, a smaller one, and I've just glued down 2 sides so it created a pocket. This is one of the cards in the kit, just backed it onto some paper so that can go in there. And then I've just put the hymn paper over on the other side. The same sort of thing again. This one has got some of the backing paper on it, some lace and a fussy cut, and then another one of these. Oh, now this punch, this is one that I've very rarely used, but it actually has one of these bits in it, which was the design of the card. So I was able to cut out the paper. I need to use it more often, actually. So that can go back in there, and these can go in here. And that actually just reminded me, whoops, there we go. This hole punch actually, I don't really use this one, but this one has a little notch in it, which is great for creating ticket shapes. So what I did do was, let's see if I can find it. These ones, I actually just cut out a notch in the corner of those to make those like big giant looking tickets. So you can see there's some that I just haven't got to yet. I haven't got to any pages and done things. This one's just another envelope again, and I've just used once again a paper clip just with some chain and a little flower charm, and then just an envelope. And I just realized I haven't put anything in there, so I'll need to do that. Sorry, put this back here. And then here I've just used a little butterfly, a little flower cluster. It's not really a cluster, it's just one of the fussy cuts that I've glued down there. And then 2 of the tags with an eyelet to create it swing tags to write on there. And then we've got to the back. So that's pretty much all I've done at the moment. I need to go see if I can squeeze anything else in, because this needs to go into my little carry bag that I created, which is in the previous video. So let me go do that. Introduce just some alternative papers you might want to have a look at, and then we'll see editing time-wise to see if there's anything else I can fit in. As promised, I just wanted to show you some alternative papers that you might want to add to your journal. If you're somewhere else in the world other than the US, there might be some of the pages that you're like, oh, it doesn't really apply to us like we are in Australia. So I just wanted to flick through, because sometimes we forget what we have in our stash. So I was just going to remind you of some pages that could be coordinating that you might want to add to your journal. Now these first 2 lots are from Carolyn's Ko-fi page. Now they were freebies for the Facebook group over a year ago, and there was a limited amount that were released. So now they're on the $1 or the $2 tier, so minimal. I'm only just showing you 1 or 2 pages from them. There are more pages and more fussy cuts and things on those little sets, but I just pulled out a couple. So this first one happens to be called Bountiful Harvest, and so I've just printed that one and that, and this page and this. So of course these will go beautifully because it's called Bountiful Harvest. They'll go in. And then there were also these little cards, scripture cards as well. So I thought they were fabulous, so definitely will match this journal. So I've grabbed those, so we'll put the link in the description box of where you can find those over on Carolyn's Ko-fi page. And then there was another one called Sunflowers Before Harvest. This is to remind me so I don't forget. Sunflowers Before Harvest. I only printed 1 page, but as again, there are more pages you can print out. I just loved this one here, and I printed that one on the back. And then there was some fussy cuts. So there was a tag, this and this. So a couple of those things. There is more on that kit. So there we go. Now this page is the Prayer of Thanksgiving folio. So the link to the video where we made this folio a couple of videos ago will be in the description box, and the little folio is in the front of this journal. But I loved this backing page, so I thought if you're looking for pages, you could do that one. So that's that. Then I had a look at Neroli Blossom. Now this was released around the same time as some of the Women of the Bible journals, and I love the name Neroli. It's actually my grandmother's name. She's now passed away about 6 years ago, and Neroli means orange blossom. So this kit was called Neroli Blossom. Lots of beautiful oranges and greens, and there were some really fantastic vibrant papers, so many different backgrounds, but I've just chosen a couple from this one. So there we go. And this one, you can tell I love the autumn leaves. It's where my brain keeps going to. And then there's this fabulous one with some butterflies if you wanted to add a bit more vibrancy back into it. And then there was this one. Look, there was another one that was orange like this, and you know, lots of fabulous ones. I've just chosen a couple. And then this one is the Sweet Autumn Walk, which is the journal that I've made like 2 videos ago. And that one was in soft greens and pinks, etc. So I've just pulled out a couple of these pages that I thought would go well. So this one and this one. And then this one is from Word of God. If you've got this one in your collection, I've just pulled 2 pages from this. This one's more like a marbled look, and then this one has the leaves on it as well. So yeah, look, honestly, please, I know there's lots of kits there. Don't think you have to go and get them all. I'm just trying to remind you you might forget something that you've bought from Carolyn in the past, and so I'm just giving you some ideas of what pages you can pull out of them. Alternatively, you know, you might have lots of other things in your stash that you might be able to pull from as well. I've got just two quick things to show you because there's not much room left to upload on this video, as well as there's not much more room left in this journal. So the beautiful belly bands in this kit, and I love them so much I did actually add them to the Sweet Autumn Walk journal that I did a couple of videos ago. So I've just stuck them down, one down here. It's just got a little touch of a bit of a glitter glue there as a belly band, haven't put anything behind it. And then I've got these two as well with a bit of glitter on them as well, and I've got to find a spot for them to put into the journal, so I need to do that. And then I've just been spotting bits of glitter glue and things, you know, there's a little bit in the center there and a bit here just throughout, just sort of for it to tie into the cover. And then the other little thing that I had was here, so glassine bags. So what I did was on the computer I enlarged the leaves a little bit, and what have I done? And then I actually put mica spray on them, and I think I did a little bit too much, but you can still see the word that is there, but mica spray on that one. And then this one is a bit of a sheen on it as well. So on the computer I just put thankful, grateful and blessed, and then fussy cut them, and then I thought they'd be really cute to put into this little bag here, and then can pull out and either write things that I'm thankful for or scripture that I think relates to those. So they could be put in here. Now what you could also do is, you know, if you've got little labels and things or any of the sentiments from the kit, you could put those across the leaves as well and have them in a little pocket to pull out in your journal. And then I also thought another idea you might want to do is if there's you know, a page or any of the ephemera that have got a squirrel on it, that would be really cute to put a little bag or a little envelope on that page or with the ephemera, and then print out some acorns, just enlarge them maybe a little bit with acorns, and then you could pull out the acorns with scripture or some sentiments on them as well. That would be really cute. So there we go. I'm going to leave it there because this journal literally only just fits into the bag that I've designed to store this into. So I will leave the video here, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and there's a couple of little ideas in there of ways that you can dress up your autumn journal or any autumn crafts that you are about to embark on. So I'll leave it there. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.